If you're lost, the answer is education. If you're educated, the answer is action. If you are acting, the answer is consistency. There are very few YouTubers or content creators in general whose updates I truly look forward to. There's one single person whose YouTube videos I will watch or listen to several times in a row, and that person is Dan Koe. If you aren't currently familiar with Dan, you probably will be soon. Dan is a Twitter phenomenon, sharing some of the most thought-provoking, hard-hitting, and engaging tweets that I've ever come across. He's amassed a well-deserved, sizable following of millions of people across all of his different social platforms and YouTube channel, and he merges concepts of human potential, spirituality, and mythology into clear, concise concepts that anybody can digest and anybody can take action on. He also has a book called The Art of Focus, which is coming soon, that I am very much looking forward to. As a business owner, a lot of Dan's concepts and teachings resonate with me deeply. I've learned a lot, not in just how to run a business better, but it's helped me actually understand who I am and some of the drivers behind why I started a business to begin with and what keeps me motivated down this path. Here are some of my biggest lessons from Dan. Business lesson number 1, life is supposed to be difficult. Comfort is an impermanent state of mind that humans love to call home. We live in a culture of instant gratification, and we've completely gotten away from what realistic expectations actually are. We've also gotten away from understanding what we as humans actually want out of life and what drives us. As human beings, we are mentally wired to grow. We're hardwired for self-improvement and self-development. This is why dopamine and the reward systems built into our brains run our lives. The problem is that society has gotten in the way. We've shifted to a culture of cheap dopamine and instant gratification versus delayed gratification and success over time. A lot of us are so caught up in short-term quick dopamine and quick wins that we're not actually going through the successes and failures that enable us to self-actualize our best selves. The journey is where the real joy lies, and this is something that I've seen firsthand. Starting a business is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life, hard stop. I had to fail at it 3 different times and lose thousands of dollars in the process. But on the other side of those failures was success and learnings, and the most rewarding thing that I've done in my entire life. Challenges are part of growth. We don't grow unless we fail, and there is no success without failure. Business lesson number 2, life is a video game, and it's possible to win by knowing the rules. If games have a desired outcome, winning, a path to get there, progression, and habitual actions to take, priorities, then we can create games out of any situation in life. The universal principle of purpose, process, and priority is the underlying framework of human behavior. If you don't have a goal, you don't have vision. If you don't have a path, you don't have clarity. If you don't have a task, you don't have focus. Most of your problems in life can be solved by understanding and applying this principle. When we understand the rules of life, life becomes a lot more fun. Just like you don't understand the rules of a video game when you first get started and you're walking around aimlessly, shooting your weapon when you're meaning to jump on a box and bumping into walls, you soon learn the rules of the game, start leveling up, and the same is true for life. A game is a flow of information, as is life. And our quality of life depends on our ability to process it. It's all about finding the right flow of information that offers us a challenge that keeps us engaged and working towards our ideal future. Just like in a video game, we're introduced to the game through a tutorial and then move on to level 1 where things are easy and get progressively more difficult level by level. The same is true for the game of life. It's up to us to invest in our own self-development, acquiring skills, taking side quests, investing in mentorship and continued learning, and dabbling with different things to keep us engaged and interested, otherwise we soon get bored. The key is aligning on a goal of what you want out of life and having clarity that moves you towards that goal. With a video game, you continue to level up until you see the final boss. In life, we need to level up until we reach our goals, and then continue setting new goals so that we continue striving and reaching for more. Business lesson number 3, your anti-vision is just as important as your vision. The concept of an anti-vision is something that I've been obsessed with for a while, and it's driven the biggest moves that I've made in my entire life. Number 1 is starting a business. Number 2 is quitting drinking alcohol. And number 3 is asking my fiance out on a date. Each one of these was very difficult to do, but it was done out of necessity of not wanting the other option. Understanding what I didn't want drove me for what I actually wanted. It provided clarity in decision making and an incredible desire to act. This streamlined my path to success despite the fear of each of them. I didn't want a corporate 9-to-5, wasting away in a cubicle, playing corporate politics for the rest of my life. I wanted flexibility and the ability to generate my own income and be the captain of my own ship in my own life. I didn't want to be a stereotypical alcoholic wasting away at the bar, the stressed out business owner who had the big belly and was destined to pass away at an early age. I actually met a business owner in my life who was a huge alcoholic. He was incredibly unhealthy, and and he was the definition of what I didn't want to end up like. I was so convinced to not be that I stopped drinking alcohol entirely. I met my dream girl, and I knew that anything less than making her my wife would be a massive settlement and would haunt me for the rest of my life. Despite not having seen her for an entire year, I needed to randomly pop up in her DMs and ask her out on a date. Just like knowing your enemies in a game, knowing my anti-vision moved me forward to my goals. It's easier to know what you don't want from experience than what you want from imagination. So create an anti-vision for your future. Sit with a notebook and get specific. Write out every single thing that you don't want and why. You should feel uncomfortable. Business lesson number 4. Focus is a superpower. One meaningful project, 1 hour of focused work, 1 day at a time without waver. That's the secret you're looking for. Dan opens a video saying that the key to everything that he's been able to achieve in life really comes down to one thing, and that is clarity. I see the exact same thing in my life. Clarity and relentless focus on a couple key outcomes that I wanted in my own personal life are the only reasons why I sit before you today as success. We live in a world where no one can focus. In a world where no one can avoid distraction, being able to focus is a massive competitive edge. It leads to clear, well-executed efforts. It clarifies decision-making, simplifying things and ensuring that your efforts are in the right place. Your quality of work will be higher, and depth of work almost always beats breadth of work. After mentoring thousands of agency owners through my program, the SMMA Blueprint, the single thing that separates successful agency owners who start making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year and those that struggle is focusing on simple things. They go all in on one strategy, focus on it, and give it relentless effort until it starts producing results. After that, they begin iterating on it and move to the next thing to focus on. Business lesson number 5, entrepreneurship is modern survival. If you don't create a routine, you will be assigned one. If you don't create a purpose, you will be assigned one. If you don't create a career, you will be assigned one. People are too quick to adopt the structure that somebody else created to ease life's uncertainty. If you watched my previous video on how to escape wage slavery, or if you watched my video on 7 lessons that completely changed my life, you know that I truly believe that starting a business in today's day and age is just not optional. Traditional jobs that historically were perceived as less risky or the safe thing to do have dramatically increased in risk over time. We've seen this proven over history time and time again. I entered the workforce in 2008 amidst one of the biggest economic crises that the world has ever seen. I saw the people closest to me lose everything that they had worked so hard for despite doing everything right. Not having a business or multiple streams of income is a massive risk. It's also a massive opportunity in life to create massive impact. It's your life's work. It not only helps you avoid running into situations that kneecap your growth, like maybe a middle manager at a company that just doesn't like your haircut and skips over you for a promotion, or pushes you towards the unemployment line, but it also gives you the ability to dramatically improve yourself as a person. Entrepreneurship is a self-improvement exercise disguised as a business. Soon you're on the outskirts of society looking in and just seeing how mad and crazy the whole thing really is. Society really is a pyramid scheme that's set up to create employees, not employers. Our psyche is wired to create. It's wired to hunt for opportunity, to be challenged, not to waste away our lives sitting in a cubicle in fluorescent light, waiting for a paycheck that our employers give us to help us forget about our dreams. There are few things in life that are more rewarding or provide a bigger psychological stimulus than running a business. It's a puzzle that you get to solve every single day, and it's the biggest self-improvement exercise that you will ever encounter. I love it, and over the years, it's become a foundational part of my identity. Run a business for long enough and you become unemployable. You have so many ideas, connections, and opportunities in front of you that it's just literally not even an option for you to go back to being a 9-to-5 employee. You're free from the matrix of society with nothing but opportunity, options, and freedom. Thank you, Dan, for the work that you do. I truly cannot wait for The Art of Focus to come out, and I will be the first person on YouTube to review it, I promise. If you're new to the channel, make sure to check out the description down below where I pulled a couple of my favorite resources from Dan for you to check out after this video. If you're curious about getting started on your own entrepreneurial journey, make sure to check out the links in the description for the SMMA Blueprint. I teach a course on how to start, grow, and scale your own social media marketing agency, which is the best business for beginners. A great video to watch after this one would be this one right here, where I talk about how to get ahead of 99% of people in life. Make sure to check that out. Drop a subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got some amazing videos that I think you're really going to like coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you in the next video.